I don't know if I'm becoming complacent in my old age, but I've been thinking recently about the Zionist, anti-Zionist debate, and I'm not sure at one level how useful it is. I mean, I just lay my cards on the table. I call myself an anti-Zionist because I think eventually we need to overcome any religious or ethnic nationalisms. In fact, I would even go so far as to say we want to create a world in which, nation states as entities are themselves abolished. But it's very easy for me to sit here and talk about, this fantasy I have of what a better world would be. And it's a very different thing to come up with concrete policies and proposals that we can actually advocate for. And I think I've gotten to the point where I'm a little frustrated with how the conversation's always surrounding Israel. The conversation's always centered around what is Israel's future? What's the ethical basis for Israel's existence? But for all intents and purposes, political Zionists won, right? They won the argument. They got what they wanted. Now, whether or not it's going to be a successful program in the long run, whether or not it's making the Jewish people safer, I mean, those are all conversations we can have, but at the end of the day, they created a real, they brought something into being, and our question is, well, how do we navigate the circumstances we are given? And I think at this point, I kind of want to stop debating, whether or not Israel should exist altogether, because it seems like a red herring. What we need to focus on is the people who don't have a state already. The Israelis have a state, and I don't think we can really abolish it tomorrow in the same way we can't abolish the United States tomorrow, even though I think that government should be overhauled too at some point. But, we can't abolish these states tomorrow. And also I'm not Israeli, so in some sense it's not for me to tell the Israeli people what to do. It's for the Israeli people to decide what their future is. But, again, at the end of the day, what matters is Palestine. What matters is Palestinians getting their self-determination, Palestinians getting their representation. And I don't know, I think I'm just getting frustrated at this point because, again, it's so simple what has to be done. There's not the willpower to do it. And again, the conversation is always framed the wrong way. And again, it's Israel exists. Okay, what's next? What's next is creating a Palestinian state. Right? That's end of discussion. That's all I care about. And getting into these other abstract conversations. We need to at some point, but again, at the end of the day, it prevents us from actually focusing on the real issue at hand.